People used to say mythology was just a bedtime story, until the night the desert came for New York.
What is that?
Is that smoke?
That can't be real.
A new empire of men, built on the bones of the old.
Between a god who had lost everything and a monster who owed us nothing, our city was caught in the middle.
Oh my God, he's fighting it! This isn't just a storm. It's a war. Yeah!
Father, throw it back.
If you keep him any longer, the council will start without you.
The people are afraid, Set. They need a sacrifice they cannot ignore. You have spilled enough innocent blood.
They never wrote this part on the walls, the part where a god was forced to watch his own family turned into an offering.
Why is my family in the circle? Move aside, priest. They do not belong there.
A god's bloodline is the purest gift. The sky demands nothing less.
Stop this! I forbid it!
If you need blood, take mine!
The will of the council has been spoken.
The other gods didn't save him. They sealed him.
If the gods can lie, I will burn their idols to the ground.
You're not just a myth, are you? Who were you really, Set?
Layla, please tell me you're not rewriting all the labels again.
Only the ones that lied.
The donors love a good villain. Chaos god, bad guy, simple story. Don't make this complicated before opening night.
History is complicated. We just pretend it isn't.
The carbon dating on the seal just came in. This thing is older than half the stuff upstairs, and much angrier. Exiled beyond time, bound in sand and darkness until justice is restored.
Remember, press preview tomorrow, no last-minute surprises.
Too late for that. These inscriptions don't call him traitor.
They call him a guardian of the frontier, an exiled one.
So we're doing a sympathetic god angle now?
Just don't scare people with talk of curses tonight, okay? They already panic over the smallest things.
Sometimes fear is just our instincts trying to warn us.
We opened a door the moment we dug that seal up. We just didn't know yet what was trying to step through.
Exiled by jealous gods. If this is wrong, tell me to stop. This can't be happening.
The prison breaks. And still humans dare to stare.
Set. So,
One of the scribes still remembers my name.
Dispatch, this is Reyes at the museum. I've got a local power number.
NYPD. Anyone still in here?
Another empire of stone and glass. How many times will your kind stack your monuments on the graves of the last?
the people out there didn't kill your family. They don't even know what really happened. And yet they whisper traitor when they carve my name. Wait. You don't have to do this.
Ma'am. Step away from the ledge.
You're too late. Something got out. Listen to me. This isn't a gas leak or a blackout. I opened a prison.
You want to try that again in words that sound less insane?
Still they run like ants when the sky darkens.
Ah, get back!
What is that? Oh my God!
Keep moving! Underground stations, now! Oh!
Stay low, away from the glass. Whatever that is, it's not just weather.
We are seeing some kind of giant figure in the storm.
That's impossible. Get in line.
When a god decides to erase your city and a monster rises from the water, you have seconds to choose who you are more afraid of.
You felt him too, didn't you?
No.
Between them, we were less than insects. But somehow, we were still the reason they kept fighting.
If you're really here to protect us, prove it! You're not the enemy, he is!
Hey, you in the jacket, get back in the car!
You can't shoot this problem, Detective.
Start from the beginning. What did you unleash in that museum?
An exiled war god with a dead family and a very long memory.
Beast of stone and flesh, you would stand between me and justice? Roar.
Okay, I officially moved gas leak off the table.
Told you.
Mythology upgrade.
He could have run, but instead, he held the line for us.
That thing in the river is holding the other one just outside the main grid.
So the monster is buying us time.
That seal you insisted we double wrap? It's in every one of these disasters.
You're saying this isn't the first time your god had a bad day?
Whatever Set's doing, he's channeling all this into that one skyscraper downtown.
Building himself a throne.
A temple, or an execution ground.
Some prisons are walls. Some are stories.
These symbols talk about exile, betrayal.
Before they called him a monster, he was a guardian and a father.
One day I'll guard the border like you.
Then I'll finally be allowed to rest.
Remember this, my son. They will carve judgment in stone, but they will never carve their guilt.
Her words never made it onto the temple walls.
If you need blood, take mine! A god who defies the council has already given up his right to mercy. Order is worth any cost.
Talk to me, Professor. What did you see?
They killed his family to save themselves, then chained him for grieving.
The other gods used his wife and son as kindling, then rewrote the story to make him the villain.
And we've been displaying that version for...
He's turning that whole tower into some kind of ritual antenna.
He was building a... If I can get close enough, I can show him what really happened. Make him see what the priests erased.
So your plan is climb the Death Tower. You always had the apocalypse wear ready?
Occupational hazard of arguing with gods. I'd spent my life reading dead stories. Turns out, I'd been training to walk into one.
We get you to the lobby, you head up, I coordinate the don't die part.
Deal. Try not to let the city collapse before I get there.
No one aims at the big ape. He's the only thing slowing the god down.
You always pick the highest altar, don't you, Set?
He's rewriting the architecture like scripture.
Let's hope the stairs are still in the original draft. How high is this thing again? High enough for a god to feel important.
High enough to fall.
That's Kong buying us a minute. Let's not waste it.
He's turning your world into his memory.
And we're walking through his therapy session.
Sutech.
Please tell me that's not a summoning chant. We're in his memory overlay. The building is just the canvas.
Next time, I'm transferring to traffic. Once we step through, that's it. No more backup.
We never had any.
Only those who fed the lie dared to use that name. Who are you to speak it?
I've seen what they did to you. I know they murdered your family and wrote you as the villain.
The gods carved that doom upon me.
You were never the traitor, they were! She can show you. She saw it through your own prison.
If he could see it, not as they wrote it, but as it happened. Look. Look at what they made you forget.
They used you. They blamed you. They buried the truth under your name.
They never showed me the hands that lit the fire.
I was not chaos. I was their sentence.
If you destroy this city, you become exactly what they wrote on the walls!
Betrothed. For ages they carved my wrath into stone. Tonight,
is it over?
Either that, or we just survived the intermission.
your city still stands. My rage is spent.
Then let us remember you for this, not the lie the priests wrote.
Tell them this. I was more than their fear.
I'll tell them you chose us, even after what they did to you.
Remember me as exile and as choice.
So, how do we write this one up?
Carefully, and in very small, terrified letters.
Authorities are calling it an unprecedented meteorological anomaly.
They always do that at first. They call it.
Cities heal. They patch the cracks, sweep the dust. Stories take longer.
For centuries, people remembered Set as a simple villain. But older texts say he was a guardian, punished for
Complicated gods and a complicated exhibit budget.
Attendance is up. Turns out people like a god they can argue about.
better than one they only fear.
These are the parts later priests tried to erase.
Unexplained weather event.
Funny how they keep leaving out the part with the giant god.
History always trims the parts that don't fit the narrative.
Think he's okay wherever gods go when they're done being angry?
I think he finally remembered who he was. That's more peace than most of us get.
We left his mark on the building. Not as a threat, but as a reminder.
They'll argue about you for another 1,000 years. At least this time, they'll be arguing about the right story. Once upon a time, a god lost everything. A monster chose to protect a city that wasn't his.
Figured the woman rewriting mythology should stay awake.
Thanks.
Also, you're now officially in Chapter 3.
Just spell my name right. Do you ever doubt what we saw every day?
Then I look out there and remember, storms don't carve hieroglyphs.
Myths don't disappear. They change shape into stories, into warnings, into choices. Some wounds you can fix with concrete and steel. The others, by telling the story properly.
When you only listen to the victors, you miss half the truth. Sometimes the villain is just the last one left alive to blame.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
You left out the part where a giant ape saved everybody.
Some myths deserve their privacy.
Tell that to the paperwork on my desk.
You can hear me, can't you? Wherever you are.
You want the truth or the version that won't break your pens? Let's start with the version we can actually write down. This is what we have. Weather rehammer. Weather anomaly, structural damage, no clear perpetrator. Funny.
You can call it whatever you want, but if it shows up again, you're gonna want someone who believes the impossible isn't just a movie pitch.
Then
So, do your bosses officially believe me now?
officially? No. Unofficially? They're terrified you're right.
Oh, that's really too long for one god fight, and suddenly you're the city's divine crisis committee. It's our myth management team.
This was my grandmother's find. She always said the story we were taught was wrong. Turns out she was more right than she knew.
If we publish all of this, every textbook in the world will need rewriting.
Good. They've been wrong for a long time.
You realize some people like their gods simple. Good, bad, smite, forgive.
Why should gods get a free pass?
So he wasn't just evil? Stories change depending on who tells them.
Kid's got the gist of it.
Myth in the making. Hey, Reyes, any more weather reports we should know about?
If the forecast says chants of ancient deities, I'll let you know first. From parking tickets to Pantheon problems, I really should have listened to my mom.
Mark, you need to see what just came in from Egypt.
Please tell me it's just a postcard.
They found a wall that looks like it was carved after the first disaster. It shows Set walking away from a city and something else waking up beneath the sea.
You sound way too excited for someone who nearly got crushed by a god last month.
Knowledge is dangerous. That's what makes it useful. This relief matches the energy pattern we recorded on the tower.
Please tell me this is just a coincidence. I've learned we don't get those anymore.
They knew something old slept beneath the water. This doesn't mean another god is about to walk through Midtown, but it does mean the Egyptians were tracking patterns we're only just noticing.
You realize this makes you the world's leading expert on angry deities in modern cities.
I'd rather be obsolete. Do you ever think about what would have happened if Kong hadn't shown up?
Yeah. Then I stop because I like sleeping.
Myths aren't just old stories. They're warnings, excuses, sometimes propaganda.
So if something like that happens again,
No. I'm just making sure I don't miss when something I can actually arrest shows up.
My grandmother used to say the gods only show up when we forget who they really were. For what it's worth, I'm sorry it took us this long to listen. You realize the board is going to have a collective heart attack.
They can file it under necessary arrhythmia.
For Dr. Hassan and Detective Reyes, who reminded us that old stories can still save new lives.
On one side of the world, they were still digging him up. On this side, we were finally learning how to see him.
He was not the storm.
They used to tell me to pick a side, hero or villain, god or monster. I decided to pick the part nobody wrote yet.
Was the gorilla scary?
Only to the things trying to hurt us.
You left out some of my best lines.
That's for the sequel.
okay, celebrity, sign these for institutional reference only. Is the institution ready for divine trauma?
We ran out of storage space for normal trauma years ago.
I used to think my job was to study dead stories. Now I realize my job is to keep them from killing us again.
So now they're carving us into the myths, too.
We were always there. They just didn't think we were important enough to mention.
There's a delegation from Cairo who want to meet the God Whisperer and her favorite detective.
Please don't ever call me that again.
Too late, it's going on your business card.
Yeah.
We can't undo what the gods did, but we can decide how we remember it.
If he ever comes back, do you think they'll be ready?
Probably not, but you will be.
And that's a start. So you both agree the storm wasn't just weather?
It was a consequence. And a warning label we almost didn't read in time.
Myths exist because someone, somewhere, wanted us to remember something important. The problem is, we forgot who they're about.
From where I was standing, it wasn't about gods and monsters. It was about choices. One giant ape chose to protect people who will never know his name.
These patterns of disasters, they line up with old myth cycles. Then we'd better start reading ahead.
There's a delegation from Cairo who want to meet the God Whisperer and her favorite detective.
Please don't ever call me that again.
Too late, it's in the program.
It turns out, when you tell the truth about one god, everyone with a secret story wants you to listen to theirs.
You just told them the apocalypse was personal, not random.
You are basically the death on this planet.
I'm not here to prove that every myth will walk out of a museum.
I'm here to ask when that's so 10.
We didn't tear it down. We left it there as a scar, a reminder that even gods can change their minds.
You ever think about leaving? Somewhere without haunted skyscrapers?
I thought of it. I remembered.
Hey, Reyes, you got any tips if my ex shows up as a vengeful goddess?
Yeah. Don't break her favorite mug in the first place.
You know, in some myths, the messenger is the one who gets punished.
To messengers who lived.
And to monsters who did the right thing. Flood here, sandstorm there, blackout over there. They were all telling us something.
So now we're pattern matching disasters and bedtime stories.
Would you rather be surprised next time?
I've had enough surprise gods for one lifetime.
Once upon a time, there was a god who lost everything and a monster who decided he didn't want to be one.
It's not often we get to honor the living.
Let's keep it that way. If this is tied together, we're going to need a much bigger whiteboard.
The world didn't change overnight. It just finally admitted it had never really been alone.
Maybe one day, we'll have a story about him where the ending isn't just destruction.
For the record, the department's unofficial stance is, thanks for not letting the city explode.
I'll add that to the acknowledgements.
You ever think about what Set's doing now?
I think he's resting, for the first time in a very long time.
Let's try not to wake him up again.
And that is Orion, one of the most visible constellations.
The question shouldn't be, do you believe in gods? It should be, what do your stories make you do when you're scared? That's where the real danger lives.
I know this sounds nuts, but we don't get to decide what's real anymore. We only get to decide how prepared we are. And this is Dr. Layla Hassan.
Who knows more about angry gods than anyone I've ever met.
We told ourselves the gods were gone. We called them myths and filed them under irrelevant, but they were all.
We always thought the sky only changed for weather, not for judgment.
If this is a movie, I want a refund.
Some symbols aren't just decoration. Sometimes they're warnings we hung around our neck and forgot how to read.
The ground was trying to tell us something too. We weren't built for gods to fight over.
Oh no!
Get back!
Attention, an emergency has been declared in your area. Please seek immediate shelter.
Go, go, go! We are not sure what we are seeing.
Authorities urge everyone to seek shelter. When nobody has the right words, they call it an anomaly, as if...
This was his frontier. Not a kingdom of opulence, but a line in the sand he was sworn to guard.
The sky remembers every promise a god makes.
You keep the border, I'll keep you.
Then we are both on watch.
The future will be recorded as we have planned it.
History doesn't wait for tragedy. It starts lying early.
They fear you because you stand between them and the horizon.
That was the promise, not a threat.
If the gods forget their oaths, remember yours.
I will.
I will.
He was meant to be the shield. They just needed someone to blame when the shield said no.
You demand loyalty and call it love. Order demands a story. Every story needs a villain.
They slept peacefully under a sky they thought they understood. Only one god knew what had really been taken from him.
Exiled.
So he's just the bad guy?
We curated our fear into glass boxes and called it education.
Every time they called him chaos, the disasters followed the same geometry.
So we treat it like a crime scene. Just a really big, really old one.
We're not just in his path. We're inside his story now. The energy spikes match the old ritual cycles you translated. So if we break the pattern, we might break him out of it. We don't stop him by hitting harder. We stop him by changing the story he thinks he's in.
You're trying to rewrite theology during a natural disaster.
Natural is not the word I'd use.
We've been showing the wrong exhibit for 50 years. You get him to listen, and I'll make sure the rest of the world does too.
I didn't put this on to look brave. I put it on because I was terrified, and went anyway.
Against a god and a gorilla. Great odds. Good thing I've got the myth expert. You look way too calm for someone about to argue with a god.
Trust me.
My heart missed the memo.
You wanted someone to remember the truth, Set. I'm here. Don't make me regret it.
We weren't climbing a building anymore. We were climbing straight into a god's unfinished sentence.
He's overlaying his memory on our reality.
Next time, can he overlay a shorter building? This is what his memory did to our world in minutes.
Imagine what theirs did to his over centuries.
Every angle, every witness, and still most of them will never believe what they saw.
He's holding it up.
Route all units away from the tower's east side. That's where the god is channeling.
Reyes, you're not really buying this war god story, are you?
Trust me, I'd love to be wrong.
We all wore symbols. Some of us just didn't know what they meant yet.
If this works, I'm never doubting a myth again.
For 1 second, he wasn't a god or a monster. He was just a father being forced to remember.
When the storm was gone, the only thing more fragile than the buildings was the story we told about what had happened.
We used to think myths explained why the world was scary. I think now they were trying to explain how not to make it worse.
Recent events have prompted a re-evaluation of Set's role in ancient Egyptian cosmology.
Are you asking us to rehabilitate a god?
No. I'm asking you to rehabilitate the truth. You realize you've basically become the spokesperson for angry exiled gods.
I prefer historian of inconvenient truths.
When we say that could never happen here, what we usually mean is we hope we never have to face what we did to get here.
I signed up to deal with bad guys, not belief systems. But at the end of the day, it was still about the same thing. Who's willing to stand between everybody else and the worst possible outcome?
We couldn't bring them back. But we could stop lying about who he was.
Thank you.
Before the myth turned him into a monster, he was a guardian who kept his promise too well.
That's not fair.
Exactly.
I didn't summon a god. I opened a prison I didn't know was there, and then had to decide whether to see the prisoner as a person or a weapon.
The first thing we had to admit was that our own institutions had helped keep the lie alive.
We curated the story we were taught. When Layla showed us the missing pieces, we had a choice: protect our reputation.
The gods went home, or wherever gods go, but the people they scared had to live with it. That part doesn't get carved into stone. They finally let him be more than a curse.
If your myth only works when you ignore the inconvenient parts, that's not a myth. That's a cover story.
Do you think anyone will believe the version where he chose mercy?
They don't have to. They just have to live in the world that choice made possible.
Maybe the point isn't to stop believing in gods. Maybe it's to stop using them as an excuse.
You know this isn't over, right? There are other myths, other storms. Good. I'd hate to have done all this homework for just one test. You don't owe us anything. But thank you for staying anyway.
I missed when the weirdest thing on my desk was a parking scam. There's a coastal town sending us photos of waves that look organized.
Send everything.
We didn't fix everything. We just bought ourselves time and a better story to live inside.